It is raining, and I hope it rains enough for the ocean to come to my window so I can set sail to what I have been carrying. I hope oceans for all of us at some point or whenever you are ready. I think about essential, and I think of capacity. I think I don't have much space to carry too much. So many have died, and I wonder if any are family I haven't had the chance to meet yet. I was sick, and the sickness was a stranger to my body. My body, who I trust, did not trust the ginger tea, the Vicks vapor rub, or my diffuser spreading eucalyptus oil through the atmosphere of my bedroom. Nothing could stop the body aches or the breaths inhaled and burned. I would cough as my body curled like the skin of a fruit scalded by the sun. I cried. Who wouldn't when the air they breathe is exhausting? I hadn't hugged my mother in weeks, and my body knew that as well. My body knows abandonment, so it reminded itself of love and water. Eventually, the ache stopped, and I don't think it's because I was healed. I just assume either I or the stranger illness had to die at some point, and I got the better half of my lungs. My cough, I don't think, was me being sick. I believe it was debris, what could be taken by wind or wave after the wreckage. I called my doctor's office with all my symptoms, and they told me to stay home because I couldn't confirm that I had come in contact with someone who had been diagnosed with COVID-19. As of May 4th, there are 313,000 confirmed cases. How many people were told to stay home? How many people didn't listen? I see parks full of people who are hanging out and are given masks by police officers. And in Brownsville, Brooklyn, people are hanging out and are given summonses and are harassed by police officers. I know I don't have to distinguish race because the police already do that. I know I don't have to distinguish race because the virus already does that. Am I calling the police a virus? I'm saying black people still can't breathe. I'm saying not enough has changed. For 8 years, I've been diagnosed with type 2 diabetes, and for the most part, it has gone uncontrolled, and I've probably sustained damage over the years. When my doctor sends my blood to the lab, it comes back that all my blood work is good, and I don't know how to trust their word. I figure people tell me everything is okay until I'm ready to hear that it's not. Every time there's a commercial on my mother's TV about being diabetic, it feels like a bad joke told by an ex who didn't care about my health. I've always needed someone to care a little more than I did, and it wouldn't be hard since most days I didn't, until I saw and felt my body. My body, a body not mine, but a body on its own. I should treat my body like I treat my girlfriend, with timely baby talk, morning instant coffee, and tenderness. I know she will be who I spend the rest of my life with, and I need my body to know that too. I want my body to be on one knee, and at the end, with her soft morning kiss. I want so much for my body, and I know that means I need to let go, to let what has kept me alive go, and let the space that comes from release be filled with what will let me live. Abundance, no longer having scarcity or defeat, be what steers the ship. You forgot you had a ship, didn't you? I do most times. I try telling myself we're only able to carry so much because we know someone who loves us regardless, who looks at their own load and knows they will always have space to love someone. Can I tell you something? I'm afraid to write in my poems. I'm afraid of everyone I love dying before me. I won't know how to breathe without eulogies on my breath. Poetic, right? Deep even. When I think of being deep, I'm not thinking of the ocean floor. I'm thinking of the darkness at the bottom of the ocean that carries so many unknown. I wonder how many undiagnosed unknowns I carry. I wonder how many times something glows in me and I don't notice. I want to notice. I want us all to become aware of the bioluminescence inside of us. I don't know their names, what makes us of light, but I imagine it's a distant cousin of joy or peace, maybe my love's morning kiss or midday cuddle that turn my muscles into something fluid as a blessing. Maybe blessings can stand in the light's place. Let's try. I am full of blessings. I am made of blessings. Blessings are in my blood. My spine is made of blessings. That got tired pretty quick. But at least it was practice. Practice. Practice makes things. Maybe not perfect every time, but at least something that can be built upon. A foundation, a draft, an attempt. I know fear. It kept me in high school for 7 years, and a year after, I was studying poetry at Oxford University under the tutelage of Ivory Francis with my brother, Nicholas Nichols. We were both living in East New York, Brooklyn, and new poems have kept us alive many times. Nowadays, it's more my medication and meditations of abundance, but the ending of poems brought me to these new beginnings. One of my favorite last lines from Labor, a poem by Jericho Brown, says, I don't do that kind of work anymore. My job is to look at the childhood I hated and say, I once had something to do with my hands. It brings me to what I ran so much from in my life, responsibility of my reaction to how the world treats me. I say the world to capture it all. All? What do you think I mean? Does it matter? What is your all? I'm not deflecting, but I'm not here to confess or release. I'm here to be of service. To ask a question or make a connection we didn't notice. To glare at what glows most when we try to ignore it. I've been ignored, and yes, it would hurt and hurt for some time. But it was when I glowed I knew there was something better than waiting for someone to recognize me and our mutual darkness. As much as I'd rather us find each other in our mutual light, who knows when that'll be? Who knows of an answer that'll direct us toward hope? Let's not play a waiting game. Let's not wait to emerge, grow, bloom, evolve. Let's evaluate the pace of our breaths and recognize the breaths no longer with us. The voices that you and others will never hear the same way in the same room. How the word same is a slender mountain from the word sane. My sanity isn't broken. My patterns were my sleeping patterns, my eating patterns. I figure my curl pattern too. How little care I've given myself for years now. I'm not surprised, but I noticed. What if care is the light? What if care is how we find each other? What if care is the ship and the news and the direction the ship will go in? Instead of having ships, let's be the ships. Let's be filled with ships, with motion, with water, with care. Let's not take anything from anyone. Let's give care to ourselves and our loves. Let's give and not give way. Let's give and not seek anything in return. Let's give until there is nothing left but love.